Thank you for being here. My name is Anita Stump. I'm the CEO of the Bullitt County Chamber of Commerce. Your presence here tonight reflects the importance of being informed and engaged on the future of our county, and we truly appreciate that you're here tonight. I want to thank the Pioneer News and Parquet Springs Conference Center for sponsoring this event with the Chamber. Our moderator tonight is going to be Alex Minkin with Clear Choice Insurance and also the current Chamber Board President. Thank you, Alex, for leading this discussion for us tonight. And our timekeeper is County Attorney Tammy Baker. Thank you, Tammy, for keeping us on track tonight. This evening is about providing a respectful, informative opportunity for you to hear directly from the candidates. At this time, I would like to introduce our moderator, Alex Minkin.
All right, thank you, Anita. Good evening, everybody. Alex Minkin, I'm a local resident, local business owner, president of the Chamber of Commerce. We're excited to have you, and we hear from candidates in several important offices here in Bullitt County. To ensure we stay organized and respectful of everybody's time, we're going to go over a few guidelines and what the rules are going to be at tonight. So each candidate will be asked 3 questions. County judges will have 4, and they'll have 2 minutes to respond to each question. Tammy Baker will be holding up a 30-second warning sign, which is yellow, followed by a stop sign when the time's expired. Candidates, please be respectful, and when the red goes up, you'll cut it off as soon as possible. A couple other things. The order of offices this evening will be County Judge Executives will go first, followed by the Magistrates. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to have an intermission, right? Then the county clerks, the sheriffs, and the jailers. We ask that the front row be reserved for candidates that are up next, right? So when the county judges come up, magistrates from 1 and 2, you guys can come on up here. Once we resume, after the 10-minute break, once we resume, the county clerk, you guys can come up, so you guys don't actually have to come up until after the break. It just helps keep it going a little bit faster. To stay on schedule, there'll be no questions from the audience during the forum. It's a time thing, so we do encourage you to speak with candidates during the intermission and afterwards, and hopefully you got a chance to speak to them beforehand. We also want to set some expectations for tone and conduct. The forum is an opportunity for candidates to share their plans, their ideas, and their visions for the office. We ask that remarks remain respectful and focused on the issues, and that candidates refrain from personal attacks or negative comments about whoever they're running against. It won't be kind of like what you see on TV. It's not a debate. We're just going to have a political forum where we ask questions and the candidates get the answer. It's an opportunity for them to tell you what they're wanting to do. Additionally, we ask that the audience remain respectful throughout the evening. Public outbursts will not be tolerated. It's a public meeting intended to be informative, professional, and peaceful. Once again, thank you guys for being here, and we'll go ahead and get started. So they will go in alphabetical order. The questions will go in alphabetical order. And so we'll ask the candidates to come up. So County Judge Executive Sheila Metcalf, Jerry Summers, and Tony Thompson, the candidates. So all 3 of you guys can come up, and Sheila, you can stay on this side close to me, Jerry, you're in the middle, and Tony will be on the far side. So the questions will be the same. I'll ask one question, and then each candidate will get an opportunity to respond with their response. After your 2 minutes, if you would mind passing the microphone down, and then we'll come back the opposite way. So for the second question, Mr. Tony will have the opportunity to answer first, and then come back down. Question number 1. How aggressively will you pursue state and federal grants for Bullitt County? And do you have existing relationships in Frankfort and Washington that would help you do that?
Well, my vision for Bullitt County is to listen to what they've told me. They've told me that they're not being heard. I do not have connections with anybody in Frankfurt, but I'm hoping to, when I become judge executive.
We can pass it down. Do you need me to repeat the question?
If you would, please.
Yeah,
Alex.
absolutely. How aggressively will you pursue state and federal grants for Bullitt County? And do you have existing relationships with Frankfurt or Washington that will help you do that?
I don't think 2 minutes can cover exactly what we've done with federal and state grants here coming back to Bullitt County. We've received over $11.4 million for water grants to put water into this county. It's never seen it before. And the relationships that we build is this. I'm the current chairman of KEPTA, the Kentucky Indiana Planning Technical Authority for 7 counties in Kentucky, 2 in southern Indiana, and that's the best opportunity this community's had for years to be able to bring back tons of federal grants along with state grants as well. We just received a $7.5 million grant for MSD in the north end of the county, and we received multiple grants for infrastructure as well. The relationships that I have, I can literally walk in from my previous job to Senator Stiver's and David Osborne's office at will. We have been able to put together the 7 mayors to go to Frankfurt with a pointed sense of urgency and one plan to make sure that our legislative body has true direction, not a divisive direction as been in the past, to be able to bring back these opportunities to our community.
Would you like for me to repeat the question?
No, I'm good.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for being here tonight. My name's Tony Thompson. I'm running for Bullitt County Judge Executive. Regarding the grant money, 8 years ago, I was running for this office as well, and we set the forum like this. And in that forum, our current judge sat down and said, I know everybody in Frankfurt. I know everybody at KEPTA. I know everybody at the Chamber. I know everybody at the Economic Development Authority. And by God, day one, November 7th, I'm going to put together a committee that will look at these roads. And so my question is how long does this committee have to meet? Because after 8 years, I'm still seeing the same roads. I'm going to go after grants. Okay, now, do I have a bunch of buddies in Frankfurt? No, those have not been the circle that I've hung out with. I've not been a lifelong politician. Those are not my friends, okay? But when I go up there and talk to them, I'm not talking to them as a friend. I'm talking to them as a representative of one of the largest growing counties in the state. We give them $350 million a year, and they're not going to have enough money to come back and give us money to fix out Highway 44. They're not going to give us enough money to get another road or widen 61. We can get all kinds of grants that we want, but we have to also make sure that those grants are going for where we want them. There's still people on Ridge Road that don't have water. We've got to do a better job of getting more grants for more people. And for me, the grants will be more targeted. Right now, it seems like most of our grants, we've got a huge road project. 30 seconds or stop?
30 seconds. I'm sorry.
We've got a huge road project going up on Highway 245. That's going from I-65 all the way down to Happy Hollow Road, and guess where that's the entrance to? It's MB. I think it's about priorities. It's more than just about tourism. It's about the entire county, and it's about getting roads, getting infrastructure, and getting everything put together to help handle this growth that we're having. And the growth has to pay for itself. We don't need to pay for it.
Okay. You can hold on to that mic for just a second. Second question. So quick reminder, please respond with what you want to do specifically for you. Let's try to refrain from any kind of negative comments. But what is the single most important thing Bullitt County needs to get right over the next 4 years? And then what happens if it doesn't?
I'd like to say infrastructure, but that's not really true. The biggest thing we need to get right over the next 4 years is our growth. Right now, we've got warehouses coming in left and right. We just had warehouses that were wanting to come in off of 480, or off of Chappies Lane, where they were wanting to use Chappies Lane. If any of you all know where Chappies Lane is, that is not set up for semis. We've got to quit running semis down roads that aren't set up for them. My number one priority will be the road infrastructure and making sure that as these new companies come in and this growth comes in, that we're not the ones paying for the infrastructure. These are the businesses that are making millions, if not billions of dollars. These are the businesses that are coming in and taking our resources, but then we're still supposed to not have good roads and water, and we're not supposed to have that. That's ridiculous. I'm not paying for a company. Every new company that comes in will need to be able to have a evaluation done to make sure that the infrastructure costs of that company come in will be paid by that company and not by the taxpayers of Bullitt County.
Okay. Would you like for me to repeat the question?
Please, Alex.
Okay. What is the single most important thing Bullitt County needs to get right over the next 4 years, and what happens if it doesn't?
One of the single most things that we need to do to keep Bullitt County safe and secure moving forward in the next 4 years is, it's not only about infrastructure for roads, which to build a road, to get a road funded, it literally takes 6 years. It's not just an overnight thing. It's not the $350 million that we send up there. The biggest thing that we do need is this. We need to keep moving forward with the emergency management, emergency services that we put in place. We need to make sure that MSD is fully funded with grants, with the $7.5 million grant that we just got. We have another $28 million grant sitting up in Washington, D.C. for them as well. So on that end of the county, when they get their grant, we're going to be able to add 20 rooms to the hospital. We brought you the hospital, the Brown Cancer Center as well. This is what our community is all about. We built an EMS standalone station in Lebanon Junction moving forward, because Lebanon Junction is going to be the next area of development. We have to take those opportunities to keep our residents safe and secure with the funding that we provided with the sheriff. Keep that rolling as well, because he has went from 16 paid patrolmen to 28 under our administration. The same thing with our EMS service. We went from 4 ambulances and 3 paramedics to 8 critical care paramedics. We own 10 state-of-the-art ambulances. We run 6 to 5 every day. This is what we do need to keep our community safe and secure for the next 4 years. We need to keep moving forward. It's more than just the infrastructure that we're building and the plan that we put in place to make sure that we manage our growth. Thank you.
Would you like me to repeat? All right. What is the single most important thing Bullitt County needs to get right over the next 4 years, and what happens if it doesn't?
To me, I've been out talking to people, campaigning, and their concerns is they're not being heard. And I understand that, because I don't feel like I've ever been heard. I've been in Bullitt County since 1959, and they need help. They keep asking for help, they're not getting help. The 3 main things they keep asking for is no more warehouses. The warehouses is tearing up our roads. We cannot get our roads to stay fixed if we cannot get these big tractor trailers stop going up and down our roads. A tractor trailer that's not even fully loaded, that's empty, weighs 10 to 30,000 pounds. They're tearing up our roads. They are making us unsafe. We just had a fatality at the beginning of this year down by the paintball field. They had a meeting at the city council meeting, and I think everybody that lived across from the paintball field showed up. There's been 95 wrecks right there within 2 years. That's unsafe. The road has broken off there. And also the people, keep telling me that they want their children to be safe. We had a student, if you all remember, that was hit right in front of, I think it was Robbie Elementary, trying to cross the road.
Okay, you'll be up again for our third question. The county judge must manage multi-million-dollar budgets, numerous employees, and work with city officials. What experience do you have in these areas that you will bring to the office?
Well, I don't have that kind of experience, but I'm a self-taught person. I have taught myself many things through my life. If y'all used to remember, we could go to the library and pull up the old cards, and figure out how to do things. I helped my mom and dad jack up the house one time. So I'm a self-taught person. I'm a newcomer, and I think that's what we need. We need someone that has an empty brain that we can put new ideas into. And I'm that person. I'm a go-getter. I am a Leo by birth. I'm a lion. I'm a tiger. I'm going to fight for you. I'm going to fight for the people here in Bullitt County. And if I become judge executive, I have an open door policy. I want you to call me. I want you to tell me what I can do for you. So, but anyway, and like I said, I don't have a lot of experience when it comes to, putting things together with the government, but I can learn. I taught myself years ago how to do my income tax. I think that's the hardest thing we all had to learn how to do it. Every year, they change it on us. So I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to helping the people, listening to the people, and getting things done. Getting what you done. I want to listen to what you want. I want to do what you want the government to do for you.
Thank you. Judge Summers, the county judge must manage multi-million-dollar budget, numerous employees, and work with city officials. What experience do you have in these areas that you will bring to the office?
Well, currently, right now, I have 7 years and 4 months of experience doing that, facilitating the needs of Bullitt County through 2 different fiscal courts, making sure major projects have went through seamlessly, partnering with the cities, and coming up with literally a comprehensive transportation plan, comprehensive water and sewer opportunities as well. The fiscal court, we were able to build a state-of-the-art animal control center. We've also had the opportunity to work hand in hand with the mayors of Hillview, Fox Chase, Hebron Estates, to be able to move our emergency services forward. Also with the hospital as well, with Senator Nemus, who's in the audience, along with Mayor Edens and all the mayors out there that's involved, and Mayor Cabrero. Mayor Cabrero, with the infrastructure projects that he's had, to be able to get him funds to KIPTA, to be able to help him with the sewers and help him with the sparks, the sidewalks, and the same thing in Mount Washington with their sewer projects as well. And those are fact checks that you can look at through KIPTA, the grants that we've got them, and that takes communication, facilitation, and coordination to be able to do that. And that's what I was in the private sector as well. You don't spend 39 years and 9 months in an organization like I did, with 8 years of community service and 32 years of managing one of the largest production plants in the United States. Thank you.
The county judge must manage a multi-million-dollar budget, numerous employees, and work with city officials. What experience do you have in these areas that you will bring to the office?
I'm not 100% sure, but I believe I'm the only person up here that's ever actually had to make a payroll, that's had to actually sell product, collect the money, pay the insurance, pay the taxes, do everything there is to do with running a business, starting from scratch. And then I grew that business and sold it 7 years later to Hosting Gases for a profit. I'm the only one that's actually had employees that they were my employees. They worked for me. It was my responsibility to make sure they had a job. Okay. Throughout my career in the propane industry and energy and those resources, one of my jobs with several billion-dollar companies, some of the major players in the industry, was to send me to different places. They would send me to Evansville. They sent me to Washington State, Seattle. They'd send me, I'd get a call, and Tony, in 2 weeks, you're going to Wyoming. And I'd say, okay, what am I doing? You're going to go there, you're going to check out a district there, find out why they're not making money, what's going on, and how we can turn them around. That's been my job most of my career, is to go in there, find where the problems were. And I could usually pretty much tell what a problem was just by looking at a balance sheet. You can see where the priorities are for somebody by looking at what that profit and loss looks like. You can see where they're spending money at and where they're not spending money at. And so I believe I'm probably the only one up here that's ever actually had their own employees, that's actually had to balance a budget, and that's actually had to make payroll and do all the taxes. And at the end of the day, it was all on my shoulders.
All right, Mr. Thompson, it stays with you. Why should people vote for you as the county judge?
First of all, I'm not a lifetime politician. I'm a regular guy. I grew up in Oklahoma. I wasn't born in Bullitt County. Me and my wife moved out here in 1983. That was the first home we bought after we got married because we chose to. Raised both our kids out here, and all of that is all good and wonderful. But the reason you ought to vote for me is priorities. Where are your priorities? We can do multiple things. Bullitt County can have nice things, okay? We've got an opera center going up there that I think is wonderful, okay? We've got a lot of good things going on in the community, but we can do more than one or two things at once. And one of the things we can do, and regardless of how long, I've been told that it takes 6 years to get a road put in, a major road. Does anybody remember how fast the interchange went in up here whenever we were going down 65 to get to the commercial park? That thing went in 3 years like that. Now, if the businesses can all go to Frankfurt and say, hey, we want an interchange for our people and for our drivers to be more efficient, why can't the people paying the money, the people paying the taxes, why can't we go to Frankfurt and get our roads fixed as well? 18-inch drop-off on Highway 44 is ridiculous. It's not just ridiculous, it's unsafe, and in my opinion, anybody that worked for District 5 has blood on their hands by not getting these things fixed. And the problem is, that's not the only one. Greenbrier Road, if you go down Brooks Hill, it's all over the county, guys. And what we have to do is sit back, decide where we're going to put our priorities at. Are we going to put our priorities in the tourist corridor? Are we going to put our priorities in getting more warehouses in as fast as we can? Or are we going to get our priorities on making sure that our growth matches our infrastructure so that we continue to have a nice place to live and a good standard of living?
Thank you. Joe Summers?
Absolutely.
Why should people vote for you?
The biggest reason is this. I came here in 1970. I had many opportunities to live. Most of you all in this room, I have worked with you at different charities, different events. 3 different times I was president of the chamber, twice with economic development, tourism, Kentucky Travel Industry Association, the Kentucky Distillers Association, KEPTA. KEPTA is a huge coup for this county. The Technical Transportation Planning Committee as well. The opportunities that I've had to work with Senator Nemus and the rest of our legislators, and also with moving forward with Highway 245, it's going to be widened all the way from I-65 to Flagey Hospital as well. It's not just a tourism corridor. It's one of the main corridors in central Kentucky, one of the most heavily traveled roads, of which 8,000 folks literally travel that every day that comes to our industrial park here in Shepherdsville. So moving forward, I'm here for your community. I have been here. I've been a long-term resident. There's not a charity I haven't been involved with. I chaired the Boy Scouts, their fundraiser, put them on my back, raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for them in my tenure. I'm still doing the same thing with CASA and other organizations as well. So I'm here for you all. The door has always been open at our office. It's locked now because we had a person come into our office when I was gone with a machete. So we had to put the lock on the door. So that was the only reason why, after 5.5 years, we had to put the lock on the door. This is where we're at, guys. Vote for me, May 19th. We'll continue to keep this county safe and secure. We'll keep growth managed. And God bless all of you all. And thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you. Ms. Metcalf, why should people vote for you for county judge?
The reason that people should vote for me is I have a heart. I have done service my whole life. I did home health for 47 years. I worked on one-on-one with people, with doctors, attorneys, lawyers. And when you take care of people in their own home setting, they're just normal people like us. And that's what Bullitt County needs. Bullitt County needs someone who has compassion for them, to listen, to really listen to what they want. Not be told like you're a child, this is what we're going to do with your tax money. that's why I'd be the perfect candidate for you, because I will reach out to you. I want you to reach out to me. I want you to be my arms and legs. I can't be everywhere. Judge Executive is all over Bullitt County. One person, if they say one person can do the job, that's absolutely not true. If I become your Judge Executive, I'll have a hotline. I'll have someone working that will take your phone calls and will tell me where you live at, what's going on in your neighborhood, what's going on in your community, and tell me what you need, and we will get it done. We'll get it done together. But the reason that Bullitt County needs to vote for me and put me in as your Judge Executive, because I have compassion. I have compassion for people. I love people. And they need to be heard. And this is what I've heard when I went door to door lately, campaigning and talking to people individually, is nobody's listening to us. Our government is not listening to us. You know, I got news for people. You know, the government works for we the people. They are the employees, and we are the employers. And we should listen to our people and tell us what they want done with their tax money. Thank you for being here, and God bless you, and God bless America.
Thank you so much. Your candidates here for county judge. Thank you all so much. All right, moving on to the magistrates for District 1, Mr. Anthony Hester and Vera Sanders. Come on up. Magistrate 2, if you guys want to start getting ready, make your way up here to the front row would be great. All right, first question. The fiscal court controls how county money is spent. Name one thing in the current county budget that you would cut and one thing that you would add or increase.
What I would like to cut, which I don't know that we'll be able to, is the insurance tax that is on our insurance to 5%. All the money's coming in to the county, like Jerry says. I don't know if we'll be able to do it, because 5% brings a lot of money in for different things. So I'm not sure if we'll be able to cut it back, maybe cut it down, or do something with it. But that's one thing that I would like to see go away or else reduce.
Okay. Ms. Sanders?
Well, since I've been in a magistrate for a year, this is my first term, I will say that I can't right off think of anything that we could cut. However, just this past year, when we did our budget, we was able to reduce our budget $3 million. And by doing that, we were able to lower taxes. And so I feel that's been very important for the people here in Bullitt County. Because I know money is not easy to come across when your value goes up on your house. And being able to cut that tax, I believe, has helped.
Thank you, thank you. Next question. Make sure, can you guys hear back there in the back okay?
No.
Okay. Make sure you hold it kind of close.
Okay.
Name one specific road, bridge, or park, or program in your district that is failing or needs major improvement. What would it cost, and how would you propose funding it in the county budget?
Right offhand, I cannot think of a park that needs a lot of work done on. However, I will say since I've been in office, I was able to get 9.5 acres donated to the county to put a county park in. Our Parks and Recreation, they have worked very hard. So far, they have the pavilion built. Along with the pavilion, they will be putting in walking trails. We will have a pickleball court and a half basketball court. Hopefully also there would be more resources coming into the west part of Bullitt County once we know what's going to be happening at Nichols Elementary School.
All right. Thank you. Name one specific road, bridge, or park, or a program in your district that is failing or needs major improvement. What would it cost, and how would you propose funding it into the county budget?
Well, I think that the roads going down the backside of Brooks Hill is where major issues lie, because the water runs down that hill, washes the blacktop on both lanes. I travel that road a lot and doing my business. I'm around this county a lot. To different areas, there's a lot of issues about everywhere all over this county that could use some maintenance on the roads. I think that the money in the budget is allocated for the roads, could be used for the roads.
Okay. Thank you very much. And Mr. Hester, why should people vote for you? It's our last question.
Well, I'm trying to have an open door policy. My phone number is on my truck. I own Anthony Hester Plumbing and Electric. I've served the community for 23 years. My number is on the truck. I'm all over this county. I see problems. I talk with people. And if you have a problem in your area that needs addressed, whether it's a ditch needs cleaned, a tile needs replaced, I will be your voice for the city or county or state that you're in. That's what I would like to have the opportunity to serve y'all on the magistrate capability to run the county, to see what goes on, to learn a little bit more about the economical part of the county. But I do believe I would be a good magistrate because I care for the people, I love this county, and I would listen to the people. I like I say, my number's on my truck, my email, so I could be someone you can talk to. Thank you.
All right. Why should people vote for you?
Over 28 years I've served this county. For over 28 years I've served this county. I'm retired from the county attorney's office as a victim advocate. I feel this has been my first term. I'm always good about calling people back. I'm very good about being transparent, letting people know what's going on in my district. A lot of that's on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, you can read about it. And I feel going forward, there's still some things that needs to be done here in Bullitt County. The infrastructure, our roads, we have over 730 roads here in Bullitt County. Those are county roads. So just think about that, 730 roads. That's a lot of roads to take care of. And I feel that our road department does an excellent job taking care of those roads. There is a difference between county roads and state roads, and a lot of times people don't realize we can't do a lot on a state road. We only work on county roads because of our funds that we receive. I'm open for phone calls. People can reach out to me at any time. My family can tell you over my first term that I've done, how people has called me even in the middle of the night calling about things, and I get right on it. When we've had storms, someone will call and says a tree is down. And living in the west part of Bullitt County, I always hated for the road department to come out until I went and looked at it. So my husband will tell you, we have been out late at night looking at trees across roads before I would even call the road department to see if it's something they could take care of. So I feel like the service I've given this county over the last 3 years has a lot to be said about me. I do thank every one of y'all for being here tonight, for taking the time out to come here and learn about the candidates that's running for different positions. Hopefully, when you go to the polls, you will know who to vote for on May the 19th. Thank you.
Thank you, District 1. District 2, Bruce Gooden, Gary Lawson. All right, Mr. Gooden, programs that you would like to see established or approved upon throughout the county government.
You know, I'm not there, I don't know what programs they all have or they don't have. As far as programs, I mean, you can do a lot. I feel like they're headed in a good direction, as they are really. I really don't have anything, I'm not here to say, oh, they've been doing all this crazy stuff and it's bad. I feel like they're headed in a good direction. So at this point, I'd just like to join up and take that momentum that they have and add to it and join the team and now let's work together to get some things done.
All right, name one specific road, bridge, park, or a program in your district that needs major improvement. What would it cost and how do you propose funding it in the county budget?
Greenbrier Road is it's similar to a lot of other roads around there. It's pretty steep on the edges. There's a lot of drop-offs. That one road, that needs to be addressed. I guess you would put that in the budget and talk to everybody about it and bring things to a vote and approving, you know, the capital request and maybe move some money around to do what you gotta do, but I mean, that's how you run your budget. Everybody can't always get what they want. You got public safety first comes for a lot of other things. So we get that straightened out first, and then you can look at other things along the way that are probably more or less important. Public safety is number one, so.
All right, thank you. Last question, why should people vote for you?
I love to learn. I've learned a lot. I've been on city council in Mount Washington for 4 years, and every meeting, every scenario, there's something new. It's a new problem, so you constantly are learning. And I like to come over here to the county to learn more and use the experience I have there of dealing with people. I see people every day, 35 to 50 people at the barber shop down in Mount Washington. So people come to me, sometimes they don't get a haircut. They just stop in and talk about road problems, ditch problems, and a lot of times you just gotta listen to people and you try to go to bat. And the answer's not always yes. Sometimes, you know, when people have problems, they might be on themselves, or they have just for example, a guy was upset because they tore out his fence, but he put a fence up in the easement, and he wanted the city to put his fence back up. Well, technically, you knew when you put that fence up, you went in the easement, you knew that if it got tore down, you would be responsible for it. He signed off on that. So the answer's not always yes, but you have to do what's right, what's fair for him is also fair for somebody else, but you know, the circumstances are different for every situation.
Thank you very much.
Is that it?
That's all.
Is anybody here from District 2 in Washington? 1, 2, well, this is a lot, more than last year. All right, well, thank you guys for coming, I appreciate you both.
District 2, Bruce Gooden, thank you. District 3, Gary Hatcher, Karen Johnson, Mike Rice.
Hello, everybody.
All right. The fiscal court controls how county money is spent. Name one thing in the current county budget that you would like to see cut, and one thing that you could add or increase to.
I don't really see anything needing to be cut. There's definitely improvements with roadways, but roads are always going to be an issue. I would like to see some green space projects in the Hillview area, because I always believe beautification projects make people feel better. So I would like to see that stuff happen. I'm sure there's some grants. You know, the county, it's going to take all 4 magistrates districts working together. And I'm going to be a firm believer of working with the local government, the mayors, fiscal court, and state. We all got to go and be a team. We can't have our own agenda. We got to be a team to get anything done. Because if everybody's pulling for funding and all that, not working together, nothing's going to happen. And we gotta make it one Bullitt County, and we gotta make it something we're all proud of.
Thank you very much. Name one specific road, bridge, park, or program in your district that is failing or needs major improvement. What would it cost? How would you propose funding it in the county budget?
Again, the roads are a major issue, and it's what everybody is complaining about. Now, the problem is when we come in and do a repaving project, we need to come in and mill it down. Because every time they keep putting 2 inches of asphalt, that's bringing the shoulders up, and that's one issue. So I have a construction background. So, and the problem is these roads have got built up so much, and I hate saying it, really, some of this stuff, there's not really a whole lot we can do with it on residential, because you do have easements and stuff. So, I'd like to come up with a solution. Right now, I don't know. And, I'm not gonna be afraid to say I don't know at all. The parks, I think the sports programs and stuff, we gotta have stuff for the kids, and we gotta invest. I think with the new aquatic center, one of my things is starting a program, program with the schools to help with some discounted rates going to the aquatic center from our area. And I don't want it to have is, I guess the way I want to word it, not being underprivileged, but I want to have a performance base so these kids can go, so they've got to have good grades, and they've got to be respectful of their teachers. And I think with the community working together, sports brings people together. So I believe if you've got different economic backgrounds coming together, it's going to make great future generations. And that's what it's about.
All right, thank you very much. Last question, why should people vote for you?
I am a 4th generation Bullitt Countyan. My grandmother actually used to live right here by the railroad tracks. And one thing my grandmother always told me, if you're gonna do something, do it 100%. Don't half-ass do it. I don't know if that's actually the word she used, but she wanted to use the other word. But give 100%. And I'm going to make mistakes. I don't know everything, but I have a really good team around me. And, I don't want to sugarcoat anything, because things are not getting done to make everybody happy, but as a team, we can start addressing the problems and try to fix it, and just make Bullitt County better. And that's what it's all about. Everybody has to work together, because we all get up here griping with each other. Nothing's gonna get solved. And also the issue, you're gonna agree to disagree, but when in business, you can't take it as being personal. So you have to be able to put the feelings aside, get things done, come to an agreement. You're not gonna get everything you want. But if you get 75%, 50%, that's better than nothing. And like I said, I really do believe that all the masters have to work together. You gotta get with the mayors and get to the state and get stuff done. And I'm actually the youngest candidate running, and I feel like I'm a bridge between the older Bullitt County and the newer Bullitt County. So that's one of my things. We cannot forget where we came from, and it's never going to go back there. But we got to be able to, I got the caution flag. So, but I just, like I said, I want to represent my district and do the best that we can and make Bullitt County good.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. District 4, Riley Gleemal, Joe Rayhill. Mr. Bullitt, we'll start with you. What programs would you like to see established or approved upon in the county government?
Some programs I would like to see improved on are the Parks and Recreation. Now, Bullitt County only has 3 parks under their control. One of them we just recently had a grand opening dedication at the Belmont Furnace. That's in my district. Then we have the Nichols Park, and we have the Maryville Park with disc golf and the old swimming pools at. I would like to see some more activities, family-friendly entertainment and different things for kids and actually everybody, adults, seniors.
Thank you very much. Mr. Rayhill, same question. What are some programs you would like to see established or approved upon in the county government?
Again, just like Brian was saying, is the park system. I think this last year they brought the park system back up and they got a board now. When I was a kid, man, we played in the county sports system. When we was in football, we was in it wasn't soccer back then, baseball, basketball, and we grew up, and it was united as our family. Everybody is, as young as I am. I think I'm the second youngest one. No, just teasing. But the park system's probably one of the biggest. I think we got a good start to it. If we can just keep adding money and getting with the cities to partner with them with their park system, our kids, this is our future. Our kids have to have something. I remember when I was a kid, if I got to do nothing, I'd be in trouble. Get out there, play ball, do this. My mom run me from everyone in the county to the other because she knew we had to have structure. And that's what county needs is the structures in our park system.
Thank you very much. This one stays with you, Mr. Rahal. Name one specific road, bridge, park, or program in your district that is failing or needs major improvement. What would it cost, and how do you propose funding it? And how do you propose funding it in the county budget?
Well, probably one of the biggest things is in our 4th district. I can't remember. I think when I left office, and I was a magistrate for 8 years. When I left office, it was, I think we had maybe 8, 9, 10, or 11 county roads that were still gravel. And I think that's one of the things that needs to be done. This is the 21st century. Our county roads should be blacktopped. I know it's, I think the average, I was talking to the road department, it's like $100,000 a mile that would cost to blacktop. So the funding with that is we have to figure out grants. We've got to figure out how to increase our budget. As one of the managers was saying, they dropped their budget $3 million and they dropped taxes, which is one of the greatest things ever. But if we could take that $3 million, put back in our road system, and that would give us a better foundation of fixing and blacktopping all the roads in the 4th district, or all of them, but start in the 4th district, because that's mine, or will be, or, yeah.
Mr. Blingle, name one specific road, bridge, park, or program in your district that is failing or needs major improvement. What would it cost, and how do you propose funding it in the county budget?
So, it's not a county road, but Highway 44 is what needs the most attention for traffic and infrastructure and widening. But on with that, there are several county roads, and so I was a former road department employee for almost 10 years. And so just to let you know, Joe, we didn't get them all. There are no more gravel roads in the county maintenance system. We've got them all blacktop, so that's one good thing. But what I would like to see is possibly, there are a lot of these roads, not just one, that are narrow and winding. And I would like to see, maybe if we could shoulder these roads and make them a little better. There's a shouldering machine that the county road department could buy, and it would put a couple feet on each side of the road to make it wider and safer. So there are some of these roads you have to pull over when you meet people, different roads. A lot of them in the 4th district, because it's still a little more rural than a lot of the other county, like the northern and eastern part of the county.
All right, thank you. Last question, this one will stay with you, Mr. Blingle. Why should people vote for you?
Well, I do my best to be physically responsible and to try to help spend the money wisely. So one thing that I have done in the last couple of years is the county can invest county tax money in very safe investments, CDs, bonds, money markets, treasuries, and we have done that for the last 2 years, and that has brought in over $369,000 in interest on the tax money that's sitting in the coffers. So I'm trying to look at ways that help the people and keep them safe without raising taxes, because I wouldn't vote to raise taxes. And we do set the taxing rate. We do not raise or lower your taxes. We set the taxing rate. Right now it's at 9 cents per $100 of assessed value. So I'm trying to look at things that would make the county safer and a better place to live and give the people a good quality of life compared to what we are seeing now on some of the issues with traffic and infrastructure. I'd like to see that get caught up and bring us up to date.
Thank you. Mr. Rahill, why should people vote for you?
Why not? It was in my head the whole time, I knew it'd come out. I absolutely love Bullitt County. We're involved, my daughter a while ago said, where are y'all going tonight to do something? We're always going out, we're always working. We absolutely, me and my wife absolutely love this county. You know, we fight for it, the thing with this candidacy and everything, look who loves this county, who invests in this county, who works their butts off to make this a better place. Anybody, any magistrate, any judge, any jailer, whatever it is, see if they're bonded and they're sold out for this community. That's what we need. We need somebody that ain't worried about the money, ain't worried about anything else. They just want to see their kids grow up in the best place in the world. And this is the best place in the world. we travel a little bit, but always want to come home, want to see what's happening. This is absolutely the best place. And just remember, the 14th, 15th, and 16th, and the 19th, vote for Joe Rahill, because I love this community.
All right, thank you guys. Mr. Ford, that's Women Joe Rahill. Okay, we're going to take a 10-minute break here, and when we come back, we will start off with the county clerks. Thank you. All right, guys, one thing I did kind of fail to mention, I do want to talk about briefly, as everybody's making their way back. The Bullitt County Chamber of Commerce, we are not a government organization. We are a nonprofit. We are nonpartisan too, so just in case anybody was wondering, I wanted to make sure that that was clear that we are not, we do not receive any public funding, so we are a nonprofit. All right, so we've got the county clerk position up next. Debbie Johnson, Alan Miracle, Rita Parsons, Cody Waters, Sherry Weber, and Mark Williams not here. All right, so first question. I'm gonna give it just a second so we can, so you guys can get everybody in, so everybody can hear you. Hey guys, you guys make your way back in?
I'm trying to get them in.
Let's go.
Go ahead, Alex.
All right, good. I just want to make sure everybody gets all the attention that they deserve up here. So for the county clerk position, how do we, it's a two-part question, are we in favor of early voting at the schools, and how do we work together to ensure our voters have a positive voting experience without disrupting the school calendars?
Hi, my name is Debbie Johnson, and I do believe that for early voting that it should not be done at the schools. I think that there should be alternative locations done. We have to work together to make sure we have accessibility to those locations that are options, and that means making sure that there's adequate parking and that there's compliance as far as entrance, and that the machines are in a safe location and that can be locked and secure to make sure that there's nobody that can get to them except for the authorized staff. And I think that would be, as far as the county, that would be in all locations and for early voting.
Thank you. Alan Miracle? Same question. Are we in favor of early voting at the schools, and how do we work together to ensure voters have a positive voting experience without disrupting the school calendar?
First of all, I've been probably one of the first people to speak out against closing the schools for early voting. We don't need to be doing that. It takes too much problems on not only the parents having to find someone to watch their children, everything to the process. One thing that needs to be taken care of next is go to Frankfurt and get that piece of legislation that allowed Bullitt County to use the schools for early voting. That's one of the things I will do. I work with Senator Nemes, Representative Payton, Representative Huff, to go up there and make sure that that's taken out so it never can be used again. No matter who gets elected here, we are all against that. But someone down the road who might get elected might want to use that. People don't realize that. I believe we were the only county in the state that did that. That needs to come off. So, and I want to make sure that I get everybody involved in the process of elections. Of course, that's my forte. I was vice chairman of elections and constitutional amendments when I was a state representative. And I wrote some election laws. One of them, you all are take it for granted, but once you're in line by 6 o'clock, no matter how long that line is, no matter how long it takes, you get to vote. And I'm the one who created that law, because back in 1996, we had hundreds of people up in the north end that were standing in line for an hour, hour and a half, and at 7 o'clock, they took them out. So the following year, I passed that bill. And I worked with the county clerks throughout the state when I ran for Secretary of State 2 years ago. And I will say this, I'm very proud of our county clerk now, Mr. Mooney, because I'm going to tell you, when I went out throughout the states, I had 23 clerks that endorsed me, and they kept telling us how good of a county clerk we had. Thank you, Kevin Mooney, for your years.
Thank you, Mr. Miracle. Ms. Rita Parsons, same question. Are you in favor of having the early elections in schools, and how do we work together to ensure that our voters have a positive voting experience?
I'm not in favor of early elections in the schools. I don't like the idea that the schools have to be shut down and it inconveniences the parents. I really like the new locations picked. It has adequate parking, very secure. So the new locations are great opportunities for the early voting to remain there. And I think Kevin did a real good job scouting out the new locations, so we can get the early vote out of schools and nobody's inconvenienced to go vote.
Thank you, Ms. Rita Parsons. Cody Waters, same question. Are you in favor of early voting in schools, and how do we work together to ensure our voters have a positive voting experience?
Yeah, I think the public's been pretty clear about not having early voting in school. And again, Kevin's done a great job finding a new location for the early voting. We want to make sure that these places are safe, secure, and accessible. Like David said, plenty of parking. We want to make sure these machines that are going into these locations are safe and secure in a way that can be disturbed while nobody's there. Again, yeah, I think Kevin's done a good job. We've gotten a good location, and hopefully we can keep that going for years to come.
Thank you, Cody Waters. Sherry Weber, same question.
Well, I think we're all in agreement. None of us want to have to displace our children and not have them in school for early voting, but we do all enjoy early voting. I enjoy it. It makes it nice for me. I'm sure everybody else likes that as well. So I agree. We need safe, secure places. I remember as a kid going to the firehouse or going to churches, and there are other options. Sounds like Kevin has already found some. That's great. We can just stand on the shoulders of giants and move forward. So I look forward to continuing that and keeping safe, secure voting in locations that do not place hardship on our families.
All right, thank you, Ms. Weber. If you want to hold on to the mic, any programs or technology that you would add or change to enhance the customer experience at the clerk's office?
I don't currently know of any technology or programs I would change. That doesn't mean to say that once I've been there for a while and I learn what's going on and what new technology is available, because technology is always changing, doesn't mean I wouldn't eventually change that. I probably would not make any immediate changes. Sometimes you have to observe before you move, and that's where I would be.
All right, thank you. Cody Waters, same question. Any program changes or technology changes that you would enhance or for customer experience at the clerk's office?
We're pretty much at the mercy of the state when it comes to the programs and technology. So it's a state-run program, cadence, state-provided equipment. But I mean, what we can do to help customer service is always have a fully trained, fully staffed location, having a well-informed, well-equipped staff that is very knowledgeable in what they do on a day-to-day basis will ultimately help customer service. Yeah, that's my thought.
All right, thank you. Rita Parsons.
We have a property fraud alert that we pay for, that everybody in the community needs to sign up for. If something's done through a deed, a mortgage, anything is done on the land record side, it will alert you that something was done. That is something that I'd really like to see the citizens really embrace that and take it. It's free to you. So I would like to see where we could do chats on the phone. I mean, through our phone system, chats to help the customers. We get a lot of phone calls daily. And some are pretty strange questions, who's my garbage company? We don't know that, we're the county clerk. But I'd like to see where we could get grants and improvements. I'd like to see it, and I'm open to any suggestions.
There's a lot of things change with technology every day. I was involved in technology from my first part of my career. But the main thing is that if we do make any changes, we still have to go to Frankfurt to ask for those changes. I agree with Rita on this, because Jefferson County has really done a good job with this, and you guys have too, with this fraud alert. People don't realize that's one of the biggest thefts that's going around this nation, is they're stealing your deed. And then they turn right around, and then, because you've got equity in the house, they borrow money off of it. And then 3 months later, you get a knock on the door, and your house is being foreclosed, and you're saying, I didn't get that, I didn't do that. And this is something that really needs to be, I want to say, branded more, letting the people know what's going on. As far as physical changes in technology, I might have to really look into more, but again, for anything that we do, a lot of stuff comes up from Frankfurt, it's run through the Secretary of State. I will go to Frankfurt and fight, because I have the experience as a former state legislator. And I think that's something that we need to do, is to protect Bullitt County, because Bullitt County is now the 7th largest county in the state. And I'm just tired of being a redheaded stepchild at other counties. We deserve a lot of different things. We'll talk about a little bit more about what I want to see done. But thank you, guys, by the way, for coming here.
Richard. Debbie Johnson.
I do have some ideas regarding technology. That is one of the things that has been on my mind when I decided to run for office. I'm on the innovation team at my company that I work for now, so I really like to embrace that. One of the things I'd like to do that I have actually implemented at the current company I have in customer relations, and I'm in the process of doing it in the revenue department within finance, is our live chat. And I would like to do a live chat where customers who may not be able to get through to us through the phone lines can also live chat with us. And I've implemented that for the current company I work for, so I know the process. Also, I'm interested in looking at checking to see if it's feasible to do pay by phone. Pay by phone is something done in Jefferson County, so I'd like to look at the feasibility to see if that's something that we could do now. That's just so that people that may not have technology, a computer or something, they can call and pay by phone, as opposed to logging on a computer or phone and paying over the phone. A lot of people aren't tech savvy, so this would be an alternative option. Also, I'm interested in looking at the opportunity to see if we can work it in a budget to do self-service kiosks, and likely it'd be, some idea would be to put it in all the libraries in all corners of the county. And so I would like to do that, and that way you can pay your taxes, get your sticker, get your registration. Many states do that. Southern Indiana has offices that do that, so I'd like to do that as well. And so I have some other technology ideas that I would like to do, and I just wanted to put that forth based on our budget and what we can put together. And I also would like to listen to the staff to see if they have any additional ideas as well.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Next question's for you as well. Why should people vote for you?
I come at this with a business approach. I am a business person and I want to run this office like a business. I have owned my own business for 23 years. I own and manage rental property. So I know what it's like to manage a budget and I know what it's like to do project management and, come up with marketing and then work with customers. And I'm a very customer-focused person. I've worked at a public utility for the last 20 years, and my focus has been with customers. We work with our customers, our ratepayers, where I work now. And I have worked in human resources, the operations division, and I currently work in finance. And I'm very often doing community outreach, going to Metro Council town hall meetings, and I do a lot of marketing. So I want to make this work as a customer-focused business and make it better and improve anything that I can to make our customers satisfied. As our county continues to grow, I want to be able to help them and make opportunities to maybe do a satellite office in Mount Washington and Hillview. And that will ultimately help the customers if it's in our budget to be able to do that, and also help the staff because it would be easier on them to kind of spread it out over the county. So I want to make this basically a customer-focused, forward-thinking position where I can run it. I've got a lot of experience, and I've got a Bachelor of Science in Organizational Leadership and Learning from U of L, with a concentration on leadership training and organizational development. And I want to use that tool as well in my toolbox to run this office as efficient as possible.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Miracle, why should people vote for you?
Well, I have the experience in the legislature, being 3-term city councilman in Pioneer Village and 3 terms as your state representative. I know what it takes. I've worked with the County Clerks Association and county clerks throughout the state by writing Kentucky administrative regulations and some state laws for them back in my day. Here's the thing. I brought this up the last 2 years. I believe that we need 2 satellite offices. One in Mount Washington and one in North End. I also believe that maybe every other month we go to Nichols and LJ to help out some people who just can't come to Shepherdsville, specifically our elderly. Here's the thing. Oldham County is a smaller county than we are, by about 20,000 people. They have a smaller budget, but they've got 3 offices. One in Prospect, one in LaGrange, and one in Crestview. Why not Bullitt County? We're larger. We're 7th largest county in the state. We should have a lot more. We are getting a lot more. Our legislators work hard. Everybody works hard to get these grant monies. I've already checked into state grant monies, federal grant monies, and believe it or not, private grant monies to help me get this thing through. I think we need to have that. Now, it's not going to happen overnight, but it's going to happen. Whether it's me or any of these other folks, if I don't get elected, I'm going to help them find these grant monies that I've already researched because we need that. I love Bullitt County, and this is something that we need to do. I do believe that the other thing is that I will be a servant. I've always has been when I was a state representative. I was the only one that had an office for the people to come visit me, and I paid it out of my own pocket. The state never paid for it, and I paid for my own secretary. But here's the thing. We've got too many politicians and not enough servants. I will be your servant because Bullitt County needs a miracle.
Thank you, Mr. Miracle. Rita Parsons, why should people vote for you?
I've been with the clerk's office for 23 years. I worked on the automobile side for 8 years. I'm in land records. I record all deeds and mortgages. I work the front counter. I work with customers every day. A funny story. When Kevin was running for election, I guess maybe he did realize I lived there or what, but he knocked on my door and he was telling me about him. And as he's standing there talking to me, I guess the wind came up, I don't know from where, and my son's basketball goal landed on his truck. And I thought, oh, good Lord, I'll be the first one fired. But he's kept me around for 23 years. So I appreciate that. I'm ready to serve the community. I love the people I work with, and I'm just ready to get out there and help people. I wish we could have satellite offices, I really do, but we're a county that doesn't have large dealerships that bring in new car money and everything. It's really hard. We don't have the budget for satellite offices, and it would be great if we could. And our staff, we don't have 12 people across the front line, but we work really hard to get people in and out. So I'm ready to serve our county. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Parsons. Cody Waters, why should people vote for you?
Let's see. I come from a long line of people that have served this community. I have many family members either retired or still currently working, whether it be sheriff's office, county attorneys, jail, EMS, you name it. I'm not a career politician, but this is my career. I've been doing this for 10 years. Anywhere in the office, I've been there. Motor vehicle, land records, passports, marriage license. I've helped run and set up elections. I know what the people want. It's to come in and be treated with respect and get through the line efficiently and correctly the first time. I believe that having a well-trained, well-informed staff will greatly help that. I'm ready to step in on day one. I believe my experience and knowledge will help me run this office. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Waters. Sherry Weber, why should people vote for you?
Before I made the decision to run for this office last February, I did some research. So I called Kevin, asked him what was involved in it, because I didn't want to step into a job I would hate or a job I could not be successful at. Then I also went to Hardin County, which is a county of similar size, and I shadowed that clerk. I went to Davis County, shadowed that clerk, because I wanted an idea of what I was getting into. What I found is that it is management and admin. That's something I have experience in. I currently am the optical director, and I oversee 4 offices. In that role, I handle the staff, I handle the budget, I negotiate contracts, I am careful with any of our outgoing expenses. These are the things I do every day, and these are the things I will bring to the county clerk's office. There will be a learning curve, but there was a learning curve when I started the job I'm in right now. And in that job, I learned everything there was to know about it. I will immerse myself, and I will learn, and I will learn well. I will work hard, because that is what I do. And I look forward to being able to serve the people of Bullitt County.
Thank you very much. Here are your candidates for county clerk. Next up, we've got Sheriff Kenny Prophet and Walt Scholl. Please come on up. Thank you, gentlemen. All right, question 1. And this question will be for Mr. Scholler, Sheriff Scholler. With the growth of our county, what is the biggest challenge the sheriff will have in the next 4 years?
I believe the biggest challenge that we're going to have is the growth of the county and thereby the growth of our budget, what we need to do to grow staffing. We've got 80 to 90,000 people in the county today, and over the next 4 years as we get larger numbers, we're going to have to add people, we're going to have to add equipment, we're going to have to manage larger and larger budgets. The year before I became sheriff, the day before I became sheriff, we had 16 patrol deputies. As the judge alluded to earlier in his comments, we now have been authorized to have 28. Police officers, law enforcement folks come and they go. Currently, as of today, we have 26 on patrol. We've just had one person has left, he's notified he's leaving to go to Shepherdsville, and that's part of what we have to do there as well. We have to take and work hard to take and get more competitive with regard to salaries so that we're not the agency that loses our best to other agencies. So I think that's, managing an ever-increasing budget, managing an ever-increasing population, and thereby the increase that we need to have with staffing.
Thank you very much. Mr. Kenny Brown, with the growth of the county, what's the biggest challenge the sheriff will have over the next 4 years?
In my opinion, the growth of the county, it's going to need more deputies to cover the streets and do their jobs, but the retention level of the deputies to keep the people that you hire from going to other places of employment. It's not always a salary, it might be benefits, which would keep people more so than a higher wage.
Thank you. This one stays with you, Mr. Crawford. How would you work with Kentucky State Police, neighboring county sheriffs, federal agencies on cross-jurisdictional crime? And do you have those relationships already?
I believe we have some of those already in place with the city of Shepherdsville where I work. And I believe the sheriff's office has the task force, a guy with the DEA task force, and we have a guy with the Hardin County and the DEA task force. Keeping open doors and open opinions on people and what's going on in the different agencies to share information about crimes that are happening so we can get control of it.
All right, thank you. Well, sure, same question. How would you work with Kentucky State Police, neighboring county sheriffs, and federal agencies on cross-jurisdictional crime? And do you already have those relationships?
One of the very first meetings that I had after I got elected sheriff, before I took office actually, was a breakfast meeting with the U.S. Attorney. At that meeting, he advised me, that U.S. Attorney is now the Attorney General, but he advised me that they were very pleased that I had won the sheriff's race because they could now work with the sheriff's office. But he said, we're not going to take and just embrace you yet, you're going to have to prove yourself. Well, 2 years later, I felt very vindicated and very proud when the FBI came and asked me to put one of my deputies on one of their task forces. We work with the state police. Phil Burnett is the commissioner of the state police. My chief deputy is the former deputy commissioner of the Kentucky State Police, Colonel Alex Payne. He's also the former commissioner of the Department of Criminal Justice Training. Alex, when I went and asked him to come on board, he gladly did so, and I expect him to remain. And we have good relations with the captain down at E-Town Post. We've got a DEA, one of our deputies is on the DEA now, one of our deputies is on the task force with the FBI on abused and exploited children. I'm on the board of directors of the Joint Terrorism Task Force with the FBI. The 119 sheriffs across the state have been electing me for the last 6 years to serve on the board of directors of the Kentucky Sheriff's Association year after year. I have a wonderful relation with them, and we work very well together, and we'll continue to do so.
All right, thank you very much. This question will stay with you, Mr. Sheldon. Why should people vote for you?
I started serving in Bullitt County in 1973. I went to work for the city of Shepherdsville for the summer and worked in the Public Works Department and the Sewer Department. Thereafter, I was in high school. I was 16 years old at the time, and I looked up to folks at that time, Kenny Harden, Tom Harden, Lee Arnold was a Kentucky State Trooper, different ones like that. And then in 1980, I went to work for the county attorney's office. I served as a clerk at the county attorney's office until 1982 when I graduated from law school, and at that time I started doing public defender work as a lawyer representing indigent folks charged with crimes. By 1989, I determined to run for county attorney and did so and won, and I served 21 years as the county attorney here in Bullitt County. I left office on a Sunday and took an oath of office with the Jefferson County Attorney's Office the next morning at 8 o'clock and began serving representing the chief of the Louisville Metro Police Department in a legal capacity. I've got the experience as sheriff, I've got the experience as a prosecutor, I've got the experience as a legal advisor. I've been making the right decisions for 40 years or so, and it's time on the job. My job is to make the right decisions. When somebody makes a mistake at the sheriff's office, it's my job to see to it that whatever mistake they've made is made right. And I do that, and I'll continue to do that. So with that, I hope you all will see fit to vote for me. I will continue to do a good job for you, and I will always do what's right, not what's easy.
Thank you, Sheriff Sheldon. Mr. Kenny Crawford, why should people vote for you?
I've 26 years in law enforcement. I've got 2 years as a Jefferson County Sheriff's Deputy. As a reserve deputy, that means you work for free and pay for all your stuff. And then Shepherdsville hired me in 2002, and I did 9 years of patrolling, 10 years as sergeant, and I retired as a major assistant chief of police. I'm a public servant. I like serving the people.
All right, thank you very much. Your candidates for sheriff. Next up will be the gentleman, John Claypool, Dewey McMillan. John Claypool, first question's for you. Most people in Bullitt County Jail will be released back into the communities. What programs or education or job skills or substance abuse treatment would you offer while they are incarcerated to reduce the chance that they return?
Since the beginning of my campaign, that's the first thing I've talked about, is programs. These people that come in, most of us drug problem, to make partnerships with assisted living or recovery programs. So I've made partnerships with 2 or 3 in the state. Education, they've already got GED that's in place, but I want to further that with online college. I want those people to be able to further their education. If they're going to be sitting there, GED usually takes them a couple months. If they're going to be sitting for a longer period of time, state inmates, I want them to be able to do online college. Not at cost of the taxpayers, because that we can apply for grants and loans for them as individuals. Most of the programs that they have in place now, I mean, they're good programs. They've got the SAP program. I just want to extend a little further out than what's currently going on.
Thank you. Most people in our Bullitt County jails will be released back into the community. What programs, education, job skills, substance abuse treatment would you offer while they're incarcerated to reduce the chance that they return?
I would continue to have the SAP program. I would offer it in both male and female instead of just the female.
I would have educational programs for the inmates to not come back. It's a revolving door at Bullitt County Detention Center or any jail. You have to close that door. The only way you can close it is to have proper training for them to where they get out on the streets. Have to work with them to where they don't continue hanging around the friends that they currently hang around with that put them in there. 95% of the inmates that I've worked with at the jail in my 10 years there have always gone back to the same group of people that they've hung with. You've got to get them away. You have to have programs to train them to get away from their people. You have to offer assistance to help them out. And just like the child support division, there's got to be programs established to where you can pay for the child support, get them some jobs where they can go out there on work release and cover the income that they have coming out, to where they're not continuing to come back in every 6 months, 9 months on child support.
Thank you. Dewey McMillan's question's going to stay with you. What experience do you have to run a detention facility, and please include any jail, prison, or law enforcement prior experience?
I've got 25 years in skilled trades. After my 25 years, I retired. My wife pretty much said, look, you got to get a job or we got to get another house. So I went to work for the last 3 current jailers. I've worked for them. I started up the litter abatement program under the current jailer. I worked the floor in Max, in North, and in East. I had a relationship with all the inmates. On my shifts that I worked, I never once had inmates get into a brawl because I treated them with respect and dignity. They knew when I walked the floor and I did my head count, I did it every hour. When I walked them down to the wing, when they were going there, I told them what the rules of the wing were. And there was a respect issue. I take the guys out on there. I never once had an inmate try to bring anything back on my shift when they were out there. They always respected me and I respected them. There's that mutual agreement that you have between inmates and prisoners that they have to respect each other. If you've got to treat them like a human being, you have to have dignity and respect for them in order to have law and order in the jail. And like I said, I worked 10 years in the jail. I'm the most qualified individual working inside the jail that I know of.
Thank you, Mr. McMillan. John Claypool, same question. What experience qualifies you to run the detention center? And please include any prison, law enforcement, or jailer experience.
I started out working in the prison system at Luther Luckett. Went through their academy, stayed there. When I come to Bullitt County, I started out as a floor deputy, worked my way to a sergeant, worked my way to a lieutenant, and then I also served as captain of operations in Madison County. So I know all aspects of jail operations, from the floor level to what the inmates, I've seen the problems that the inmates have, that they get riled up, to the sergeant, which is leading the shift, getting people to fix some problems if the deputies are having problems on their hall, to be able to sort of work those problems out. Then up to the lieutenant. At that point, I was over the sergeants the entire shift, and then captain of operations. I was hands-on. So once I made it to that spot, I didn't just ride the desk. I come out on the floor, I checked on my people, I made sure everything was fine, they had no problems. Anytime there was an issue, I had an answer because I had been through what they're going through, from a deputy to a lieutenant. I knew the struggles that they were inquiring, and I knew how to fix them. I've been in HIP, I've been in classifications, I've been as far as Class D to classifying state inmates. So I've worked all aspects of the jail and know what it takes to make it run smoothly. I knew the problems I faced, so I know how to fix those problems so the people underneath me don't have them.
Thank you. Question will stay with you, John Claypool. Why should people vote for you?
For one, I'm all about second chances. To me, even though they're labeled an inmate, they're still human. They're still somebody's family. There's still some people out there that care and love about them, and they want them to come home. When I first started this campaign, to make my mind up about it, I thought about it. You know, there's kids out here that, you know, the drug problems that we're seeing. What can I do to help those kids get their mom or their dad back? You know, what programs can I put in place? What can I do? Like, we already have the MAT program, but there's another program, the NET, that I want to look into if I get elected. There's so many things that I want to look into to better help these people. This is not about a title thing. It's not about the salary, which is nice, everybody knows. I mean, if they don't, it's a high salary. So when you're electing this person, they're getting paid a lot to do, more than I feel that what's being done. And I feel like voting for me is not only the second chance, it's the harder for people, it's the experience. I've seen all levels. Like, I didn't just stay at one level. I kept moving to the next, moving to the next. I went to South University to get my bachelor's in criminal justice. I do things to make me better. It's something that I love. And I love people, and I care about people getting another chance and getting an opportunity to be the person that their family knows they can be and the person that they should be.
Thank you. Dewey McMillan, same question. Why should people vote for you?
Well, I've been a businessman for, since 1989, 90, when my wife and I got married. I know how to run a business. I know how to put myself in success. When I take office in the jail, I plan on having the staff behind me that were set up in order to run it. We will treat the inmates with respect. Safety will be the number one priority. Training will be a number one priority with the inmates and the deputies. The deputies will be trained hands-on, not from some computer or some paper. They will actually have hands-on training. Under the first administration I worked on, we actually had hands-on training. We'll go back to that. Medical will be taken care of. I know there's people that are indigent, that can't afford it, but we will get it taken care of to where they have medical procedures there. We will offer types of training. We will constantly be there. And most importantly, it's not about my ego. You won't see a whole lot of Facebook posts that we're out there picking up trash. We're going to do that. We're going to do that 7 days a week. But that's not what the jail's about. The jail's about the safety of the inmates, the safety of the deputies, and most of all, getting the people out there and getting them to not return and do the same thing that put them in there before. Yes, we'll continue to have church because I'm a God-fearing man. If I wasn't, my wife would put her foot somewhere else, But that's one of the most important things, and we'll continue to do that. But that's stuff that does not need to be publicized on Facebook or anything else like that. It needs to be done in-house and teach the inmates and the deputies how to treat one another with respect.
Thank you very much. Your candidates for jailer. All right, guys, that will conclude our night. Thank you to the Bullitt County Chamber, and more importantly, thank you to all the candidates for coming out and all the and everybody else. Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you.